So Amber Heard is flying to London to testify against Johnny Depp in the Sun lawsuit trial. Okay, this is what narcissists do. They will pull out all the stops to keep their reputation going, even if it ends up biting them in the ass. I mean, no matter what, you can't get away from the fact that Amber, in those audio recordings, did admit to hitting Johnny Depp, did scorn him and taunt him and mock him, had no remorse whatsoever. Even the make-believe remorse that she tried to pass off. Oh, I'm sorry, I lose it. I get so mad, I lose it. That was supposed to be some kind of remorse. And call me out on it, help me with it. No. That's what narcissists are masters at, And so we've got her going off to London to testify against him in the Sun lawsuit. And she doesn't even have to do that, but she's doing it anyway because she's a narcissist and she's going to do everything she possibly can. See, because she knows Johnny's going to be there. And when he sees her, she wants him to crumble. When he sees her, she wants him to crumble. Because remember how he was in those audio recordings. He didn't want to hurt her. He didn't want her to get her just desserts. He loved her too much to have justice be done. The perjury and everything like that. He loved her too much. She still had him, because he loved her. And he did love her. He thought she was somebody that, he didn't know that she was going to be that way. And at the end of the recording, he said it best. He said, you were some made-up thing in my head. I've loved you for so many years, but you didn't exist. You were just a made-up thing in my head. And he got it, and he knows that. But she's just trying to rattle him. She's only going down there because he's been there. He was there the other day in London. And I bet you dollars to donuts she's doing this so that she can make him crumble. So that he'll somehow lose it and lose his composure, and say something or just crumble, She's doing, oh my God, I know these tricks. I've had them played on me in various and sundry different ways. She's malignant. But you know what? What can we expect? So that's why she's going down there. That's why she's going over there. To make him fall apart and to torture him. To completely torture and maim him. And to try to get him under her spell again. No doubt she'll try to talk to him. If she hasn't been already. But, I mean, he's been pulling out all the stops. He's been, it's been 4 years, for fuck's sake. He's been pulling out all the stops. He doesn't care anymore. I mean, he's done with her bull. So he's, I don't see him crumbling. But she wants him to. And she is so sure that if she just shows up and he sees her, that he'll fall apart. It is so obvious to me. So obvious. Next, we have the text messages that Johnny wrote to Paul Bettany. Y'all know about that, of course. Those of you keeping up on things. Oh my God. He said he was venting. Anybody, who has ever been angry at any situation has always vented And sometimes we say things that we don't mean. We say things that we would never say to them, and we to the people that we're mad at. And we say things that we would never do to them. He said, let's burn Amber. Let's, let's drown her before we burn her. And, you know what was said. And the press is making such a big deal over it. It was read aloud. And as far as who got those text messages to the Sun, it was accidentally leaked to the Sun. Accidentally? No, there are no accidents. Come on. It was accidentally leaked by Johnny's former law team. Now, the first thing I think of when I think of former law teams is somebody like TMG, the Mandel brothers that he had that lawsuit with. They were messing around with his money, and they made him, those guys. They put him in a lot of trouble with the IRS because of not paying his taxes on time. Whole bunch of crap. And that's been settled. And then the other law team, Jacob Bloom and Hergott and all those other guys that were managing his career, his business career or something like that, however it works. They were another thing that I thought about, because why wouldn't, some disgruntled law team, but how in the world did a law team get a hold of those texts? Apparently it's 70,000 texts, so the whole thing is fishy to me. I can't believe that it's not one of these law teams. Somebody on Twitter, I don't remember who, but they said that they don't think it was either TMG or Jacob Bloom. They don't think it was those law teams. They think that it might have been Brown Rudnick, because apparently Johnny has separated from Brown Rudnick, and he's just using Waldman and these other lawyers, Benjamin Chew and them. And that doesn't make any sense either. But, the whole thing doesn't make any sense. It kind of reeks of some kind of, I just don't get it how they got the text. But I guess it doesn't matter. The point is they're out there. And they're just vents. They're just vents. He's just venting. People vent about their wives and husbands all the time. There's a difference between venting and threatening. A big difference. Let's burn Amber. Let's drown her before we burn her. And then I'll fuck her burnt corpse to make sure she's dead. He was pissed. She'd been abusing him. She'd been beating up on him and abusing him and gaslighting him. He was pissed. He needed to talk to a friend. That's what you do. And then he said it in the text. He said, I'm too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. Admittedly, I'm too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. I'm too old to be that guy. In other words, he wasn't going to do anything like that. He wasn't going to burn her or drown her or fuck her burnt corpse. He wasn't going to do that. When will people get it? It is not, some kind of new evidence that Amber has. It is not some kind of thing that's going to vindicate Amber. Nothing can vindicate Amber now. Nothing. Those audio tapes pretty much sealed the deal. Even the media is a little bit, they're not like all jumping on Johnny and everything like that. Some outfits are having highlights like Johnny threatens to burn Amber and all this bullshit. But Nobody can forget those audio tapes. Those audio tapes damned her. And for her to go down there and testify, I mean, a big part of it is desperation. You know, she knows her goose is pretty much cooked to death. So what she's doing is she's going down there to try to save face, to make Johnny crumble. That's her last resort. But she knows that she could probably, you know, I mean, she's so sure of herself. You know, he's not going to crumble. He's not going to crumble. When he sees her, he's just going to be like, whatever. But she thinks he'll be like he was in 2016, when he was trying to settle out of court so that neither one of them go down. But 4 years, a lot can happen in 4 years. We're in 2020 now. You know, enough is enough. So I just wanted to weigh in on those two things. And I will be back to get a little more in depth about these things and about some other situations surrounding it. Like, for example, Amber Heard's supporters. Like, these constant tried and true diehards, like Sturgis and Christina Taft. You know, there are people that have just been with her, but they're just two. All of us in the community of Depp heads, there's many of us, many. Whole groups of us. So that says something. That definitely says something. Anyway, thank you for listening. I will be back, and we'll just keep paying attention, and just as we're working on our own journeys, and we can learn from these situations always. You know, steer clear of any narcissists that come our way. Run, don't walk away from the narcissists in our lives. It can be done. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.